The Fall of Babylon, a 10-minute historical storytelling experience. Chapter 1: The Golden City of the World. In the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, between the mighty rivers Euphrates and Tigris, stood the legendary city of Babylon. Its walls were said to be so thick that chariots could race upon them. Its gates, covered in blue glazed bricks, shimmered beneath the desert sun. The city flourished under kings who dreamed of immortality. Markets overflowed with spices and silk. Priests chanted in towering temples called ziggurats. And above it all, the Hanging Gardens, one of the wonders of the ancient world, rose like a green mountain in the desert. Babylon was not merely a city. It was a symbol of power, wealth, and divine favor. But even the greatest empires cast long shadows, and Babylon's shadow was growing darker. Chapter 2: The Legacy of Great Kings. Centuries before its fall, Babylon reached glory under Nebuchadnezzar II. He expanded the empire, rebuilt temples, and strengthened the city's massive defenses. Under his rule, Babylon became the jewel of the ancient world. But greatness is fragile. After his death, the throne passed through weaker rulers. Political instability crept in. Court conspiracies whispered through palace halls. The empire's unity began to crack. While Babylon celebrated its past glory, a new power was rising in the east, patient, disciplined, and unstoppable. Chapter 3: The Rise of a Conqueror. In the land of Persia, a young ruler named Cyrus the Great was forging an empire unlike any the world had seen. Unlike brutal conquerors before him, Cyrus ruled with strategy and diplomacy. He united the Medes and Persians and swiftly defeated mighty kingdoms. One by one, great cities fell before him. His army grew stronger, his reputation larger, but one prize remained: Babylon. To conquer Babylon meant conquering the heart of Mesopotamia itself, yet the city's walls seemed invincible. Many believed it could withstand any siege for years. But Cyrus had no intention of attacking Babylon in the usual way. Chapter 4: A Kingdom Divided. Inside Babylon, the final king, Nabonidus, ruled unpopularly. He had angered powerful priests by neglecting the city's chief god, Marduk. Instead, he devoted himself to another deity, Sin, the moon god. Religious tensions simmered. Nobles grumbled. The people felt disconnected from their king. Meanwhile, Nabonidus spent long periods away from Babylon, leaving his son Belshazzar to rule in his absence. Babylon's greatest weakness was not its walls, it was the cracks within its leadership. And Cyrus was watching. Chapter 5: The Siege Without Battle. In 539 BCE, Cyrus marched toward Babylon. His army defeated Babylonian forces outside the city. Yet, when they reached the massive walls, they did not launch a full assault. Instead, they studied the Euphrates River, which flowed directly under Babylon's defenses. According to ancient accounts, Cyrus ordered his men to divert the river's flow upstream. As the water level dropped, the riverbed beneath the walls became passable. It was a daring plan, one that required patience, engineering, and perfect timing. Babylon, confident in its defenses, did not see what was coming. Chapter 6: The Night of the Feast. On the night Babylon fell, the city was celebrating. Inside the palace, Belshazzar held a grand feast. Wine flowed freely. Music echoed against golden walls. Nobles laughed as if no enemy stood outside. Ancient tradition tells of a mysterious hand appearing during the feast, writing words of judgment upon the wall, a warning that the kingdom had been weighed and found wanting. Whether legend or truth, that night marked the end. As celebrations continued, Persian soldiers quietly moved through the shallow riverbed beneath the city gates. Babylon was about to fall, not with fire and thunder, but in silence. Chapter 7. The Gates Open. The unthinkable happened. The inner gates along the river, left carelessly unsecured, allowed Persian troops to enter the city. There was little resistance. The defenders were unprepared. By morning, Babylon, the unconquerable city, belonged to Cyrus. There was no widespread destruction, no burning of temples. Instead, Cyrus presented himself as a liberator. He claimed the god Marduk had chosen him to restore order. For many citizens, the transition was shockingly peaceful. Babylon had not fallen in a storm of swords, but in a whisper. Chapter 8. The Policy of Mercy. Unlike conquerors before him, Cyrus the Great allowed religious freedom. He permitted displaced peoples to return to their homelands and rebuild their temples. This policy was famously recorded on the Cyrus Cylinder, often described as one of the earliest declarations of human rights. Babylon remained important under Persian rule, but it was no longer the center of the world. Its independence was gone. The empire that once ruled nations was now simply a province in a greater dominion. Chapter 9. The Slow Fade into History. Though Babylon survived the initial conquest, its power steadily declined. Future rulers neglected its infrastructure. Trade routes shifted. Over centuries, the once mighty metropolis weakened. When Alexander the Great arrived in 331 BCE, he briefly sought to restore Babylon as his eastern capital, but after his death, the city fell into further decay. Gradually, the desert reclaimed its palaces and temples. The city that once dominated the ancient world became ruins buried beneath sand. Chapter 10. The Lesson of Babylon. The fall of Babylon is more than the story of a conquered city. It is a reminder that no empire, however mighty, is eternal. Walls may be thick, wealth may be vast, power may seem unshakable. But internal division, pride, and complacency can undo even the greatest civilizations. Babylon's fall reshaped the ancient Near East and marked the rise of the Persian Empire, one of history's greatest powers. Today, its ruins stand in modern Iraq, silent witnesses to a forgotten age of glory. And in the echoes of history, Babylon still whispers its warning: no empire stands forever.